Taco Bell days. But yeah, dude, I remember the 89 cent thing that got you a burrito. And like say you had like $2 that was like a burrito and like a I think like a medium drink.
Oh yeah, like I mean, Taco Bell's owned by Pepsi, right? So
Yeah.
like the drinks were always like, or at least back in the '90s, early
Hmm.
2000s. Like I remember the drinks were like 60 cents, maybe.
Yeah. Oh,
It was like a buck for an extra large one.
yeah. For like
Like at most, it was like 99 cents.
you walk
Like
you
there was a reasonable pricing difference between like an item that was like 60, 70, and like 90 cents.
hmm
You're like, oh, should I spend that extra dime on that?
like maybe. But like I remember you had $5, you would eat like a king. Like you
Oh yeah,
feasted.
you could get the entire menu. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, just give me one of everything. It's fine.
They would curtsy to you because you paid with a $5 bill. All right, let me reblog the live
Whole
post.
currency, paper currency,
Oh, me
is
lord!
Taco Bell. My lord.
Perhaps me lord would like a seat at one of our booths. All right. Missile launch says bruh. He actually said that before we went live. He was on it.
I don't even see the chat right now.
What?
Or okay, I'm updating.
Okay.
I have the
I
the.
might be able to see it because I'm looking at the Creator Studio version. If you're just
Is it
like
hidden?
it, no, it's not hidden. It's just because it came in before it went live. I think that's why it's not actually showing.
Uh, okay, interesting.
Interesting. Many such cases, perhaps. I I am unreasonably excited to play Metal Gear Solid 4 this evening. I have played Metal Gear Solid 4 I don't know how many times back when it was on the PS3. But I haven't played it in a long time.
Wait, what were you saying?
So Metal Gear Solid 4, it got re-released as part of the Metal Gear Solid collection, the second volume, and it also comes with Peace Walker, excuse me, which I believe was for the PSP. Peace Walker was decent, but Metal Gear Solid 4 is a fantastic game. It's very cinematic heavy, but it's a fantastic game, and I don't know how many hours into it back in the day. Like, when did Metal Gear Solid 4 come out? 2008. Metal Gear Solid 4 came out in 2008. And I put a lot of hours into it on the PS3, but it was the only Metal Gear game that hadn't really been like emulated or was emulatable or had copies you could get on more recent gaming platforms. So like if you didn't have a PS3 or don't have a PS3, you cannot play Metal Gear Solid 4. But now that it's out again for PS5 and PC and probably Xbox too, like everybody can play it again and I'm just psyched because it's great. It's also the ending of the main Metal Gear Solid series, so it's just
And I
fantastic.
and I just admit something
Yeah, that you never
that
really played Metal Gear Solid.
I only ever played Metal Gear Solid 5 because it came out on PC.
That's fair. That's totally fine. You can play the other ones on PC now. Like you can play 1, 2, 3, and
Yeah, I
4.
just thought for okay, like I get that some of them are remastered or like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, re-releases that have had a lot of effort put into them, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still like almost 20-year-old games, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm not paying $60 for that.
No, that's fair. Um, like I also will say too, like at least in my experience, the Metal Gear Solid 1, that game does not handle well on a mouse and keyboard. Because it's an old like PS1 game, and like the basic movement, just running around with like the WASD, that's fine. But like playing the game back in the day, we're on the PS1, so you had the D-pad and you had no joysticks. You just had D-pad.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like your movement was very much like you could fine tune it, like it was pressure sensitive, so like you eventually got it down where if you hit like left and up, you can go into like the upper left corner instead of like going all wild. But for the most part, it was like you move bum 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 bomb, stuff like that. Like there's no fine turning or anything like that. And when I remember playing it on the PC on like an emulated version, not an official release, it was very difficult to get through some parts because it was just not it was not made for modern movement. And like playing it years later, I got it down a little bit better, but there's also certain things about the game because it's Kojima that were built into it at the time. Probably the most famous thing I can think of in Metal Gear Solid 1 is are you familiar with the character Psycho Mantis or the Psycho Mantis boss fight? So it's basically he is this telepath who also has telekinesis, and the running gag with him is that he can read your like save files on your old PS1 memory card, and he can also like whatever input movement you put into a controller, he can detect you doing it before it actually like really registers, and he automatically will just block your attack or move out of the way and just laugh at you. But it's funny because it was Konami back in the day. Like let's say you played Castlevania for the PS1 and he would read your save files and he would go, "So, you like to play Castlevania, and you haven't saved your game very often." And it was like, when you're 8 years old and he's telling you things that are happening in real life, it's fucking terrifying. And the game would also, during that fight too, it would like pretend to glitch out. Where, do you remember back in the day with like an older like CRT TV, you had like your normal, like let's say you got cable on channel 3 and then you had like input 1, input 2 or specific channels you could go to like flip through with like the normal channel thing. And it was like that's where you'd plug in your VCR, or maybe a little bit later you were a little wealthier, you had a DVD player, but it was like that sort of thing. And like the game would like intentionally glitch out. So it would say like video 1 or video 2. But instead of video 1 or video 2, it would say Hideo 1 or Hideo 2 for Hideo Kojima. And when you're like 7 or 8 years old playing this shit, it actually freaks you out. Because you're like, oh my God, Psycho Mantis is attacking my literal PlayStation. What am I supposed to do? And if you call one of your characters, they're like, take your controller and plug it into the second port. And you're like, what? Do it. Okay. So then you do that, and then all of a sudden he starts freaking out. No, I can't see what you're doing. And then you can actually fight him. But it was this like really cool thing that was very specific to PS1 hardware and tech at the time. And it doesn't translate to like the later games because obviously if you're emulating on a PC, you're not going to like move your keyboard from like HDMI 1, like USB 1 to USB 2 or something like that. Like it just doesn't work. So that part really just gets kind of like coded out, or they'll try to incorporate it a little bit. But when I played the emulated version, it didn't work. Like it was really glitchy and it made the boss fight a lot harder. So I never really picked it back up. But you should give the Metal Gear series a chance now that you can play them all on PC. Just take it with a grain of salt that like Metal Gear Solid 1 especially is a very low bit PS1 game. Their faces don't move. Like you can't really see their face.
Which one is Snake Eater?
Snake Eater is number 3. Snake Eater also got an HD remaster very recently, so the Metal Gear Solid Delta that came out is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, just made newer for like PS5 and PC, and it's gorgeous. Like graphically, it's so nice.
That's the one I'm on the page for.
Yeah,
and yeah. I mean, it looks like they updated the controls and like all the gameplay elements from like 5, which like I think I had been to friends' houses and tried playing Metal Gear on PlayStation.
Yeah,
and been like, A, this is like impossible controls, like it sucks.
Yeah.
And B, like I have no idea what's going on. Whereas like there's some things like playing Zelda as a kid, like I thought it was cool and it was fun.
Yeah.
And I got most of it, but like I was never really good enough or competent enough as a 7-year-old to figure out how to like beat Zelda. Yeah. And it's like going back as an adult, I'm like, oh
yeah, that makes sense.
I can beat Zelda now. But I feel like that might be similar with if I play Metal Gear. I'm like, oh,
probably.
Okay.
Like it's like these days, there's nothing really like that difficult about it, other than like like I said, with Metal Gear Solid 1, because of how it's made on the higher difficulties, it gets tricky. There's a lot of tricks like that I used to know. Like there's a scene where the main character Snake is getting tortured by Ocelot, and he's basically getting electrocuted, and you have to like slap the O button over and over and over and over again in order to keep your life up. And he'll make a joke too. He'll be like, "And don't use auto trigger. I'll know," which was this thing you were able to do back in the day. It was like a cheat hack thing you could do with a PS1 to make it like auto trigger, like on the controller. And if it felt you doing that, it would like make you fail, like it would kill you. But the trick is that you have to keep doing it, and then you have to like when he's done torturing
I'm
you.
listening.
No, you're good.
Hmm.
When he's done torturing you, you have to keep slapping the O button to build your life back up. Otherwise, it's like impossible to get through. And as difficulty goes up, it takes out more health. So it's just like it's just one of those things. It's hard. Like as a 7-year old, it was difficult. As an adult, I could do it, but it was like I definitely was like shit, man. Like my hand was definitely a little sore afterwards. Oh, missile launch. Mention else something too. So there's this one point in the game you're supposed to call somebody on your codec, which is like this little micro radio that gets like implanted into your neck or something like that. And you're not actually given their number, so you have to try to figure it out. And if you call the colonel, he'll be like, "Oh, look on the back of your game case. There should be a number there you can call." And it's like, I don't remember her number. It's like 194.96 or something like that. But you manually type that into the radio and you call and you actually get her in game. But like if you don't call the colonel and he doesn't tell you to look on the back of your PS1 game case for Metal Gear Solid, it's you couldn't get the number. You had to like go online, which back then it was you connect your dial-up modems to fucking GameFAQs or some shit, and they're like, yeah, this is what you got to do. But like without that, like you couldn't get through that. And as like a kid, if you didn't think to do that, you literally just can't progress to the game. Like it's not difficult,
Yep.
but it's one of those. I remember my dad was really hesitant about letting me play it because he heard it was for mature audiences. And it kind of is. Like it deals with more mature themes, but it's basically for the most part, like if you're a child, it's a little bit harder to figure out what the fuck you're actually supposed to do. So, but yeah, that's again, I'm just excited to play Metal Gear Solid 4 because it's the ending of that actual series. Like Metal Gear Solid 5 is like a prequel, but yeah,
Oh,
so
it is?
it is. Yeah, so Metal Gear Solid 5 takes place before 1 2 1. So okay, so it takes place after 3. The chronological order is 3 5 1 2 4.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Is that ice cream?
Yeah. My wife made brownies,
Oh
and
hell
I
yeah.
asked for a scoop of ice cream on top.
Heck yeah. Oh, just humble brag out here with my wife and my ice cream and my brownie that she brought me. Yeah, man.
Sorry,
That's
U.S.
okay. It's okay. It's awesome. I'm
Uh,
actually more mad about the fact that like I don't have ice cream or brownies or any real
Oh, he,
desserts in my house. So
here's
I'm
the
just
thing: like, always have
something,
a box
something.
of brownie mix
Yeah.
in the house and vanilla ice cream.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's yeah. See, if I had a wife, I would have known that.
The shit you eat instead of vanilla ice cream is worse
Yeah,
than what just having vanilla ice cream around all the time is. Because if
exactly.
you just like, okay, all I really want is like a scoop of ice cream, you'll eat a scoop of ice cream, and be like, that's pretty bitchin'.
Yep.
I don't really need anything else. But
Yeah,
then
no, I'm
like
good.
if you like dig into some like,
Like
oh,
chocolate
I guess I
truffle
gotta
mudslide.
yeah. If you dig into something else, you're like, oh,
Ugh.
wait, I guess I ate like 3 or 4 of
Oh,
those.
oh darn, yeah, I killed almost this entire pint like shit. That's actually a reason I don't keep a whole lot of ice cream in my house normally. Like I know where I have self-control and I know where I don't, and unfortunately ice cream and chocolate chip cookies are my heroin essentially.
I psychologically, I think
Mm,
you can overcome that
mm,
by just admitting that basic ice cream
mm.
is a health food, high in protein, high in sugar, high in fat, all things that your
High
body
in
needs.
protein. I mean it's dairy, so I guess there's going to be some protein in it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
whole milk's great.
Hmm.
What's wrong with that?
So I should be eating more ice cream in order to like build muscle. Essentially, is what you're telling me. This is medical advice you're giving me right now.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm telling you,
Free market medical advice.
it's
Eat ice cream.
even a higher authority than the. Well, okay, think about it. Like all the classic like American diner foods
Hmm.
are like when our obesity rate was fucking like 3% at
Yeah.
most.
Oh yeah. French
Back in
fries,
the 80s.
malts, shakes,
Everybody was eating French fries,
burgers.
cheeseburgers, malts, and yeah.
Yeah.
I simply don't see what's wrong with any of those foods outside of like having an ultra processed version of them.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get too much into anything, I just want to welcome you to episode 220 of The Altar. We've got 4 viewers. We got Missile Launch, Death Chilada, and Saint Luck the Laughter in the chat. There's been studies that people who eat ice cream regularly live longer, probably because they're happier. And if you're happier, you'll live longer. Through no other reason. That's it. But I believe that.
Uh, I think it's more than that, but yeah.
Probably. No, like I'm sure there actually is some like actual nutritional benefit. They were like, yeah, actually, all ice cream. If you don't eat ice cream,
I feel
you
like
get
dairy in general.
yeah, dairy and beef, dairy, beef in general. Like again, the citizenship test for the United States should be a bacon cheeseburger with cow cheese and probably a milkshake at the same time. Not a big one.
Okay, here's the thing: like people who are mildly lactose
Okay.
intolerant
Hmm.
can eat cheese. Like
Okay.
there are cheese adjacent people all over the world.
Hmm.
You
But
know,
solid like
think,
ice
think
cream or yeah.
yeah, think Japan.
Okay.
Think think like many Latinos, like they can eat cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking a glass of milk as an adult
Mm-hmm.
is basically like stepping on the coast of the Yucatan with a Spanish royal flag. All
Ah.
right, you
Okay.
are
Colonizer.
you're straight up just asserting that Western European heritage. Although East Africa, the
Mm-hmm.
Maasai and several other peoples from East Africa are pastoralists, and they drink milk all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Also in Asia, the Mongols are totally
Yes, they
lactose
do.
tolerant,
They do. Yeah.
and so I think that lactose tolerance hierarchy is probably a good means test, right?
So
It's
this
not constitutionally prohibited,
no, it's
is
not.
what I'm getting at.
Also, does that make Mongolians honorary Aryans or honorarily white?
Honestly, I think it should be the other way around.
Oh, we should be
I think
honorary Mongolians.
yes,
Okay,
exactly.
I'm down for that. Somebody sent me an ask a couple weeks ago now. They're like, if you had to pick an ethnicity other than the one you currently are, what would it be? And I was like, it was something like that. I was just like, well, Anon, everyone's born with it. Oh, it was if you had to pick an ethnicity, what would it be? And it would be, well, everyone's got an ethnicity, Anon. It comes with your birth, like you're born into an ethnicity. And they're like, no, what would you pick? And I'm like, oh, Mongolian, easy, hands down. Hang on, we got high speed internet, we got dairy products, we got beef, we got dirt bikes, eagles. You get a pet eagle, and you don't have to work in an office with like the high speed Wi-Fi you got. You can live in your yurt on the plains and like remote work for what little you actually need because you're part of a nomad tribe maybe, and like maybe you
Say
visit the.
yeah, as somebody living in the empty quarter of the U.S. With high speed internet, my days routinely involve going on remote hikes
Mhm.
where I am the only person within like 10 square miles of my location. And I would say, like, you know what? The Mongols probably have that figured out.
Yep.
Like, I could easily go to outer Mongolia and just be like, okay, yeah,
Yep.
riding my horse out in the middle of some mountains and some forest. Oh, there's a river over there. Let's go check that out.
Let's go check that out, Emil.
I got your horse is your best friend. Maybe you have a dog. You got a fly fishing pole,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my favorite moments from. Are you familiar with like KEXP, that Seattle, Wyoming, or Seattle public radio station?
No,
You
I have
heard of?
not.
So they do like a live series where they
Mhm.
have a really nice studio that they invite artists to come and play um live sets for the radio, and they do a little interview in the midst of the set.
Mhm.
To not only is it that like, oh, we're getting to hear like a live version of the songs, but like you're also, getting to chat with the artist or hear about the artists and stuff like that.
Mhm.
My absolute favorite was they had this Mongolian group come and play some songs on the radio, and the interviewer's like, "So, tell us about the lyrics of your songs. Like, what are the songs like lyrics about?"
Oh man.
And this Mongol guy at a kaftan with like silk and everything like looks over and he's like, "Well, it's about the good things in life, riding your horse and looking at mountains and women and drinking.
Hmm. All
It's a
right.
lot like your American country music too."
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like turn on my country playlist
Like
to get 20
this is
songs
like
like
a
that.
full on, yeah, this is a full on like just like backwoods Mongolian guy that happened to learn English and like they're playing music. And he's like, "Yeah, those lyrics are just like I've listened to a lot of country music from the US and it's exactly the same
It's
stuff."
exactly. I was gonna say
And I was like, we're honorary the same people. I
okay.
think
Okay. All right.
if you're like Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Utah, Arizona, New
Honorarily
Mexico,
Mongolian.
like, yeah, you have much more in common with a Mongolian than you do
Like
with a
a New
politician
Yorker
in New York
or
or New
Californian.
York or whatever.
Oh man, I was gonna say, oh shit, nope, there it goes. It'll come back to me. Um, Mongolians singing. Oh, that guy, the backwoods Mongolian guy, learned some English playing music. I bet he has some absolutely fire geopolitical opinions and like insights into the world. It's like you land in like Istanbul and you get like the most racist taxi driver in the world. You're like, sir, can you tell me exactly how the world works, please? I would need to hear exactly what you think. Or Croatia or some shit. Actually, Croatia would be way better. Or Albania or something. Like the Balkans in general, but not like the Turkish side of the Balkans. Like you need like a
Well,
racist white
I mean,
Christian guy.
The Croats are and the Slovenes are generally Catholic, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Serbs are Orthodox.
Serbs are
Uh,
Orthodox. Albania, actually, I didn't know this. Albania is actually like 50% Muslim.
yeah, it's like 50-50.
Yeah, it's interesting, but yeah, otherwise it's there. It's like an even split between like Catholic and Orthodox, so that could go either way. Um, but yeah, like I or like Vienna or something like that area. Just land, get a taxi, and just spend like an hour with the most racist taxi driver you can find. Just what do you think about the Ukrainian war? What do you think about the petrodollar? What immigrants do you think are worth bringing into a country? If you had to pick one other ethnicity, what would you pick? Like,
This is one of my favorite anthropologists on Twitter
mm,
is Drunka Kukli or
mhm,
something like that. And he seems to spend most of his time just traveling, you know,
mhm,
anywhere around the world and, you know, basically hitting up the local babes and then like riding around in taxis, being a tourist and
mhm.
like doing that exact thing. It's so hilarious.
I
So
love that.
okay, I think I found the video.
Okay.
Can I share?
Yes, let me kick her
Um,
over. All right. Oh, nope, not sharing my screen. Hang on. Hang on. Wrong button. There we go. Okay, it's up.
all right.
Just introduce yourself and the rest of the band members, and also talk a little bit
Wait.
about
Oh,
the
the playback's going through my speakers.
Uh oh.
There we go.
instruments that you're playing today.
That's not right. There we go.
Okay. As we are play with many of instruments each. We have 3 or 4 instruments. Especially from my left side sits our drummer, who also make it instruments for himself, especially Egil. Please welcome, it's Radik Toulouche. Our instruments, I told you, and meeting with many of musicians from another country, from another continent. It's this I real say this. It's very unique. Our music culture, very deepness and very strong, still strong, and it's we are like the same like instruments, the same its voice. We are doesn't check it. We are trying to find it when they start. It's our people singing like that or made it instruments. It's we are doesn't check. It's just our all these people call it. It's like it's thousand years ago. We are do it this music way of singing or instruments have around the globe. It's around the center of Asia, especially people not like overtone singing, not like another kind of singing.
Oh, okay,
It's
this is the whole interview part. So I'm
real,
trying to
like-
find the part where he's talking about like, oh, the lyrics are all the same.
Music
No, I got you.
start to do it for himself. It's not special music education. It's just very special also words, lyrics, all the time kind of allegory between human being life and between the nature. And after the lyrics kind of have this essence. Sometimes why we are play with instruments, flute, whatever, violin, guitar. As we are not singing, as we are playing, it's just instrument. And the same this situation, after the beautiful lyrics, words, men start to do this sound. It's like essence of the words, essence of the lyrics, and it's just flute all the time with me, all the time in my body, in my mind. Yes, I don't need it instruments, nothing inside. No, this I have drone, I have rhythm, I have top of the drone and melody, I have top of rhythm and drone, I have melody, whatever. It's for Tuvan people, it's very important. Like harp, small instruments you play all the time with you. It's small. You put it as here in situation the same, and just you don't have anything. It's just your voice. Helps. I told before this chairs, diaphragm, larynx. It's whatever. This you.
Okay, so he's talking about overtone singing.
Okay.
These guys are so cool. You get a copyright strike at some point. I don't know.
I mean, it's on YouTube.
I guess so. Here, let me just find a part where they're doing some great overtone singing. They're doing like little animal sounds in the background. Thing is, like, if you scan through, like, let me find a wide shot of these guys.
So
Because-
I actually have a lot of Mongolian like throat singing and just like the Tuve music just saved. Like I
So,
like
okay.
it's great.
Do you see where my mouse?
Yes.
Do you see the guy in the green kaftan?
Yes.
He's wearing jeans and boots underneath.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And I think this is one of the other points I would bring up about culture and peoples and stuff like that is that at a certain level, all culture is like a LARP that you just lean into. It's a role play because like at the end of the day, a lot of these guys are like fundamentally like a little bit globalized. Like they tour around the world playing music, and they see all these people, and they're part of global homo, as you would call it, like that
Technically,
homogenous, thing. And he wears blue jeans and he wears American boots. But if you want to like hold on to that culture or something like that, like just throw that kaftan on and just say, fuck it. I'm a Mongol, or I'm a steppe warrior, and I'm gonna sing the songs of my ancestors. And I think in the age of globo homo, we're going to see that like either there's going to be parts of society that totally fall into that, like just McDonald's everywhere kind of thing, or there's going to be like the Quebecois are. This is the most hilarious. I was working on getting my international driver's license. Actually, I got it today.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, wait a minute. Why are all European, not all, but most European like traffic signs are in fucking English? Like Europe, France, Italy, Spain, Germany, doesn't matter. Do you know what a stop sign looks like?
Yeah.
It's a stop sign, an American stop sign. And the Americans invented that stop sign. We imposed, or because Americans were the main people with cars, soldiers particularly, driving around immediately after World War II, they started putting, and we were the ones paying to repair all the roads. We put up all our traffic signs across Europe. Of course, like we did acquiesce to them having kilometers or whatever bullshit they have, but
respecting their speed gender, kilometers, sure, whatever.
Their speed gender.
Your pronouns are kilometers per hour. That's cool. Whatever, man.
Okay, here I could stop streaming because we're not watching it. But but it's like, no, in Italy you go, like you'll pull off to like pick up lumber in a lumber yard. I was watching a YouTube video the other day of a guy restoring Italian cabins, and yeah, he's like, there's like a stop sign, an American ass stop sign in a private lumber yard in Italy. And then I'm like, wait a minute, like why was I misled about this? Because in Quebec, stop signs say arrête. In France, they don't even say arrête. They say stop.
That's just those damn Quebecians, man.
No, but the Quebecois are going to hold on to their actual culture.
Fair. Oh, I mean, okay. All right.
They are performing the LARP adequately with enough enthusiasm that they will continue to be. There is a thing that is Quebecois, and they will hold on to it. And like the insistence on French everywhere that it has to be is going to do it for them. And like at a certain point, like okay, I guess I'm part of Global Homo because like I speak English and
I work for an international company. Like,
but what's my provincial quality? Like what makes me uniquely like a Mountain West guy, right? And I'm like, okay, I just gotta play it out, right? Like I wear Western patterns.
You do.
And I got a cowboy hat I wear all the fucking time. Like, how often do I ride a horse? Maybe once a year. I don't actually own a horse.
But you know a guy who does.
But god damn it, I'm gonna I did grow up like riding horses pretty often. It's just horses are fucking expensive.
Yeah, man.
And also like you can't go on vacation without like figuring out like, oh, I got somebody to do.
But that's an actual like term is horse poor, is you own horses and you put all of your spare money into them, and they need a lot of upkeep, and they're like kind of suicide machines. There's suicide machines. Yeah.
You want to love them, and then they just like try to kill themselves.
Yeah, just snapped its own neck somehow. You're just like, fuck, man. Oh, man.
So anyways, like just embrace the LARP. Like
embrace the LARP.
New Jersey dudes that are just like that New Jersey. Like we laughed at Jersey Shore.
But because they embraced the LARP
whole thing that they're like so goofy and like they did obviously like I think we both know the personality, right, of this Jersey Shore like Italian machismo guy wearing a black wife beater.
Brother, I'm from New York. Forget about it.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, but honestly, that's your thing. Just be that thing.
Do it.
Like I I want to go somewhere and experience what's actually from there,
Yeah.
not go and eat. Like I could go and eat a McDonald's Big Mac.
Didn't
at
like
every
Anthony Bourdain
capital.
like say something like that? Like he'd rather go to like the grittiest parts of a country and get like an authentic experience than go to like some like bland like westernized or like a McDonald's version of what the actual local culture is. I swear Anthony Bourdain said something like that.
He did say something like that, but he still dismissed the uniqueness of European culture or Western culture in general.
Okay, yeah. He's really part of Globo Homo.
Yeah. Which is where I would say is like, oh, if you can't go to Scotland or Norway, or okay, let's take two very culturally similar countries.
Mhm.
I would even admit as a scientifically, statistically,
Increasingly,
aware person.
yes.
Like if you can't appreciate the differences between like Portugal and Spain, we're like, okay, they both speak a romantic language that is very adjacent to each other, is mostly mutually intelligible.
Mhm.
Actually, let's do an even more difficult example. Norway and Sweden.
Oh, that's a good one. I was about to say, especially in terms of like language,
Norway
like
and
interweaving.
Sweden, they can literally speak to each other in common language.
Mhm.
It's not actually really what we would call separate languages.
So, did you ever watch
in a-
Mr.
in a
Robot?
linguistic sense, but they can, but they have distinct dialects and
They
stuff
do.
like that.
Have you ever watched the TV show Mr. Robot?
No,
It was with Rami
but
Malek.
I do know of it because it's Rami Malek.
Rami Malek was decent, but there are two characters in the show, and one of them is Norwegian and the other is Swedish, and they have a conversation in their respective dialects. And I remember there was a lot of chatter about that episode, like after it happened, because for starters, like everyone's like, it seems like they're speaking in different dialects, but they understand each other. Like that's really confusing. And a lot of people were like, oh no, you see the one is speaking in Norwegian and the other one is speaking in Swedish, and they actually can speak in their native dialects and they will understand each other because they're that similar. And I also distinctly remember that episode and a couple other shows that I think was either Norwegian or Swedish. But I remember listening to it, and it probably took Danish too.
That close.
Yeah, but I remember watching the show, and it actually took me a good 10 minutes to realize they weren't speaking English because it was understandable. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like it seems weird, but like it's like a mom and a daughter and they're having breakfast around the table and dad is like some government scientist. If I'm remembering correctly, I think it was like how like Russia invaded Norway in like the modern day or something like that. But I remember I'm listening to them talk and I'm just like, wait, no, okay, wait, no. And it took, this isn't English. What the fuck am I watching? And I looked at this Norwegian. I was just like, I was so just like, how did I just sit there for 10 minutes and not realize? And I was like, but I understood them mostly. Like little things here and there didn't make a whole lot of sense, but like overall, I understood what they were saying and the plot and what was going on. And I was just like, huh. And like, yeah, but like I remember like Norway and Sweden specifically. And like you said, Danish, like it's all very similar, but there are like distinct cultures between all three countries.
Yeah.
A lot of similarity, but
yeah, if you get down into the nitty gritty, like definitely there are differences between the language. The opposite of that is Chinese.
Oh,
Chinese is not a language.
No, it's several.
It is not a language with a dialect that's called Mandarin or a dialect that's called Cantonese. Like Cantonese and Mandarin are as different from each other as Vietnamese and Korean are.
Yeah.
And I guess people don't. I'm a linguistics nerd because I study anthropology like that. But here's a fun map, which is the Foreign Service. The Foreign Service. Let me share the screen. Rates how many weeks it takes through immersion learning to learn a respective language for an English speaker. And obviously, like you can go anywhere and the UK and
Mhm.
pretty much understand anybody from English. But like, there might be weird phrases where you're just like, I don't know what you mean by that.
Yeah. Bob's
Right,
your
like-
uncle, mate. What did you just say to me? Like,
But like Norwegian, Danish, Dutch, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian, Romanian are actually, because English has such a Latin base to it, like
Mhm.
we can equally pick up what is the North
Romanian.
German dialects and the Romantic dialects pretty quickly, like in about 24 weeks. So what's 24 weeks in months? That's like 6 months, right?
6 months, yeah.
In 6 months, if you were immersion learning in, any of those countries, and you were, moderately competent, like, average language abilities, like there's a distribution of language abilities for sure, and it's not 100% your intelligence,
Mhm.
then you would be able to pick it up in 6 months. You speak like a fluent speaker, which begs the question. Okay, Spanish. I only just thought of this while we were talking about it.
Mhm.
Spanish, right? Like the Foreign Service rates like an average American or British agent embedded in Spain would take 6 months of immersion learning to become fluent in Spanish. But what the fuck is the deal with, like, Mexicans and Central Americans in America that've been here 20 years? They can't speak any English.
Because I've actually experienced this a little bit firsthand because I dated, Flo was Uruguayan and she had family members that were Argentine and Venezuelan. And basically the way it works is there are whole little ethnic enclaves set up over here.
Yeah.
And especially as it pertains to like coming over in like a family unit as like maybe you're an illegal immigrant or a legal immigrant, regardless, it is very possible for you to go about your day, get gainful employment, go to the grocery store, go wherever you need to go, and with very few exceptions, you will never encounter somebody who really like speaks English as a
Like
main language.
Yeah, need to basis speak
Exactly.
English, yeah.
Which is fine. But the problem is you get insulated in these sort of little enclaves and communities and you don't interact with the outside, you don't assimilate, you don't learn a language. So that's primarily how, and it's like people who've been in the country, let's say 10 years, somehow never managed to learn to speak English. It is worse with individuals who come over illegally because as an illegal individual, they are less prone to going out and making connections with individuals who are outside of their enclave because the risk of, they're going to find out I'm here illegally and report me and I'll get deported is that much higher, which is not me saying you should, like I'm anti whatever, or like I'm pro illegal immigration, or like I'm like absolutely open borders or anything like that. Like even as an anarchist, I'm just like, no, like I don't, just because I'm an anarchist doesn't mean I'm okay with like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of Indians and Muslims and Arabs and like.
Well, I think it gets to the point that like individuals can assimilate, but like when you have a wholesale population emigrate,
It's harder.
That's when assimilation doesn't occur.
Also,
right? Like what's is it last a week the Mohican, not last the Mohicans, what's the other going native movie where Kevin Costner
Dances with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves. Like Dances with Wolves, like you send one guy into a tribe, he's gonna immerse into the tribe. Whereas like
Avatar.
Yes, Avatar. Same movie, to be real.
Yeah.
But who wrote Dances with Wolves? And do they owe James Cameron
Pocahontas.
money? Or does James Cameron owe the writer of Dances with Wolves money? Michael Blake.
Michael Blake, yeah.
I think he owes him money. You know
Probably.
what I mean?
Michael Blake. Click. Interesting looking man. Best known for Dances with Wolves. So he wrote the novel. Blake's family lived in Texas, Vietnam.
The other thing. What other adaptation? What you were just saying, Pocahontas.
It's another one I can think of, yeah.
But so but that one's like, okay, in real life there was a Pocahontas story, right?
Mhm.
And some of those events actually happened.
Mhm.
So it's like not necessarily writing about it.
The Last Samurai.
Again, a historical fiction. Some of those things like were adjacent.
Yeah.
But again, yes, about assimilating into a foreign culture. If you're just one dude, if you're just that one dude,
Mhm.
you will assimilate into that culture.
Oh wait, no,
But
it's
you have an
an
entire
extreme
enclave.
farce. No, right. When you have the entire enclave and you can insulate. Sorry, I actually I just thought of something else that is almost an exceptional rule, but it's so comical. It's like we're gonna have to take it with a grain of salt. Coneheads. That's a family. They come to Earth. They assimilate to Earth culture. Like they start liking it. They fit in. The Earthlings are like, yeah, okay, you're cool.
Especially the kids. The kids were
Yeah.
true.
The kids were Earthlings. The parents,
Yeah.
the parents were a little more difficult because they were more ingrained in the ways of their home planet.
Honestly, it's now it makes me think Dances with Wolves or Coneheads is worth a rewatch as a cutting commentary on immigration.
Yes.
In 90s America. In fact, don't they have like a whole ICE subplot?
They do. Actually, yeah, they do get pursued by immigration's custom enforcement. They do. That's true. Oh man.
Okay, now I need to really revisit
Oh
it.
man,
I'm like
yeah.
I'm remembering parts of it. I'm like, okay, maybe they were onto something with that.
That's
Dan
your
Aykroyd was always great.
That's your homework tonight, viewers. You have to watch Coneheads, and you need to apply Coneheads to modern day political economic issues. I guess it'd be so. When I made the announcement for the podcast Monday, both Dolly Parton and Tim Curry were still alive at the time, so I feel like we should mention that a little bit. I don't want to go a whole lot into it because, like, okay, actually, I have two things I do want to talk about in this issue. I don't really want to talk about their deaths because they lived long lives, they lived good lives, they had accomplishments, they had friends and family and loved ones, and they had adoration from so many people, and they have legacies that will last a very long time. And they both produce some amazing, amazing things to consume. Dolly, music, of course, she was also a little bit of an actress here and there. Tim Curry, where do you even start with that, man?
Can I say I was appalled when I was like, "Oh, Tim Curry died," to my wife, and she's like, "Who's that?"
Oh,
and then I was like, "Oh,
annulment.
well, like."
Just kidding.
I was like, well, like he's the clown. He's the original Pennywise from It. He's the he's in Legend.
He's the devil. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the devil in Legend. He is he's in Clue. He's in Home Alone.
He's in Command and Conquer Red Alert 3. He
was
in there was a game that Jack Black produced. I think it was called like Heavy Metal or something like that.
Yeah.
But he was a boss at the very end of the game, like he voiced the boss. And he's been in Rocky Horror Picture Show. There's that.
Horror Picture Show.
But
she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, that's okay. She just needs an education. But what I was gonna say is, you have people really getting like, I don't want to say performative because I don't know the depths of their emotions for real, but like getting really broken up over these individuals like passing away. Like, I get it, but at the same time, dying after a life of accomplishments in your 80s, surrounded by friends and family and loved ones, is not a bad way to go. Like,
it's right.
Yeah, like you can feel a little sad about it and like mourn them, but like getting all hysterical, upset shit, like, it's like, dude, come on. Like, and also, and this is like a really specifically annoying thing, and I have to preface this by saying this is not a defense of any politician or Donald Trump specifically. But when like Dolly died and you're like, you killed the wrong 80-year-old, you're supposed to fucking take Trump. It's like, dude, can you not make it about Donald Trump. Like, can you not make everything that happens about some bullshit fucking political issue? Like, the wrong 80-year-old died. You should have killed, like, Mitch McConnell. It's like, okay, listen, I'm not saying Mitch McConnell isn't already dead, or that maybe he doesn't deserve it. That's not my call. Or that Donald Trump, whatever. But like,
Dolly Parton, like 4 days or like a couple months before she died, like had like a legacy video that she made, like very honorably retreating from public life, and then passed away a few months later. Mitch McConnell has not posted like any believable proof of life in like 70 days.
Yeah, that's completely different. And like, he's probably dead. Like, in all intents and purposes, they're not announcing his death so that like they can.
Did you see the video? It was like somebody made a time lapse of C-SPAN, and he's just motionless on the floor.
Yeah, I saw that. But I'm laughing at the pictures. Oh my god! Of course, Dolly gets hit in the tits.
It was gay 9/11.
Gay 9/11. Please post that on Tumblr, please. Oh man, 9/11's like in 2 weeks. Oh shit! All right. Oh, so when we do, obviously, since I'll be out,
as with everything, gay 9/11 was actually first.
Gay 9/11 was actually, they set the trend. Exactly. Oh man. But like outside of that, outside of like the ongoing, Hormuzituationship, did anything else really happen?
There were a handful of topics I think we kind of discussed, but the flood.
Oh, I saw that shit.
Yeah.
Can you pull that video up of the actual landslide? That shit is fucking insane.
Oh, I haven't seen the actual.
Okay, hang on. Let me. Oh, it's fucking something, dude. It's like I'm watching and I'm like, this is like a scene from 2012 or something like that. Like, it's insane.
Well, that's what I said. I was somebody earlier was like, this. We straight up have like the era of cell phone video.
Yeah,
is giving us a lot of things
that maybe we shouldn't be seeing.
Include that it's like a Roland Emmerich film, is what I said. It's like literally just like shit blowing up, people dying en masse.
Yeah. Let me find a video that's not fucking made for cell phones. Hang on. I hate that shit. There we go. No, I don't want shorts. Eat my shorts. This contains images that people may find disturbing. Yeah. All right, we're going to have to go with short. Fuck it. Okay, so this is... Let me turn it over to the stream. There it is. Okay. Can you see it okay?
I have to hit the watch button, and I'm doing MS Paint editing right now.
Got it?
Oh yeah. This one was because there's that big building, and you can see the people in the foreground. It's so crazy.
It's crazy.
Okay.
There's no volume.
Yeah, everyone there. It's
insane. Like, look at this.
They do a jump cut there.
Yeah, they do, unfortunately.
Well,
unfortunately, we don't need to see people die necessarily, but like, oh, dude, this is like Indonesian tsunami. Tsunami bad.
Yeah, I would say like we haven't seen this level of destructive power. I hate to say it's like once a decade.
Yeah, but I mean, it kind of is.
Fukushima was close to this.
Yeah,
and obviously the Indonesian tsunami was close to this, and yeah, it's about once a decade something like this happens. It's weird that it was 2 tsunamis and then a glacial flood landslide event.
Oh, that too. Let me see if we can get video of that, because they showed that glacial, like the lake that formed, that like emptied. Glacial landslide lake. No. Glacial lake outburst flood. Yeah, It's a 6-year-old video. Okay. All right, never mind. We came
Well,
to see.
it's a known phenomenon, and as we were, it is one of the most scary events to think about if you live in a mountain valley underneath a glacier, actually, because it could just happen any day. The thing is only in basically the Himalayas are there significant populations living in valleys that are under threat from glacial floods like this. But during the last interglacial, there's a lot of evidence that I should say there's a lot of evidence. There are
Strong
a
theories.
preponderance of evidence and some strong theories about a glacial flood occurring over the western United States when the North American ice cap basically let loose and carved some of the terrain that we see in Idaho.
Is this like Younger Dryas era we're talking?
Let's see. Well, this would be I think as far as like timeline goes, yes, this was around 15,000 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
And it was the Younger Dryas was after this, actually.
Okay.
So there was a melting, and then there was a re-freezing that not immediately, but in the next 2,000 years followed.
Okay.
Which is, we were going into that interglacial, and then there was the Younger Dryas is notable because it was an extra ice age that we had on the tail end of an ice age.
Okay.
Which is why I personally think, having studied and looked into ice ages significantly, is I think the Younger Dryas probably was caused by a cosmic event, like a asteroid impact, which is why we see meteorite fragments embedded in mammoth ivory all across the northern hemisphere, and that rapid glaciation and stuff like that. But Ice Age floods interactive map. Okay. But do they have a cool image of the glacial? So essentially what happens is that like a glacier can dam up a mountain lake for an extremely long period of time. Longer than you would think. And when that dam breaks on that, it will release an amount of water that's been stored there for
thousands of
centuries
years,
or
possibly.
millennia.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm trying to find like a really cool map that shows image, like the topography that kind of shows this this glacial flood that happened all over the Northwest, basically down the Snake and Columbia River Basin, coming out of what is nowadays like Glacier National Park in Missoula and stuff like that. So yeah, without having like something ready, and like the scientist in me is like, I need the perfect graphic to show this.
That's okay. We can always, you can make a post about it. We can revisit this next episode, because like this is like very interesting shit to me. Like,
well,
obviously I'm not as learned as you are on the matter, but like I love learning about this shit.
Every culture across Earth has a flood myth of various types.
I was
right?
about to like bring that up.
I'm not going to dismiss entirely that, like, Noah was not based on like Gilgamesh or something like that. Like there's like a thread that comes through the written culture of like the middle Near East that like they definitely experience something. But it's weird that the America's people should also have great flood stories, and the Aboriginals of Australia should also have great flood stories. You know what I'm talking about? And they're totally culturally removed and linguistically isolated and stuff like that. And the end of the last ice age, what we would call an interglacial, and all of these glacial floods that occurred afterwards, that submerged a lot of the low-lying areas around where humans would be living 15,000 years ago, is definitely something that, like, I think from a history perspective, like we acknowledge that, oh yeah, of course, this is something that we know geologically happened, but the amount of history that's buried underwater in the Persian Gulf or off the coast of Florida or in the flats between Indonesia and Australia and Vietnam and stuff like that, that the water's only like, 20 feet deep in a lot of for hundreds of miles. And all those places 15,000 years ago used to be the most habitable, wonderful places to live on Earth. Like I think there's like this blood memory or this tradition that got passed down, and like Odyssey even goes to this, where like oral traditions can be remarkably well preserved over thousands of years, and maybe it takes 10,000 years to like lose most of like the fine details, but like the general gist is there. Like I think it would be really cool to listen to or see a real historian, anthropologist person who's like synthesized all those fields talk about, hey, we know that the glacial floods happened after the last interglacial, and how there's cultural stories about all those things that happened, and those things were only written down about 10 to 12,000 years after the fact. So there were just oral traditions versus the oral traditions that were only a few hundred years old when writing was invented, such as the Trojan War, or I'm trying to think of another good example of something that happened just before writing was invented, like the Vedic invasions of India or something like that. The early Vedas, like the Yamanas. That would probably be another candidate for that. Where it's like, okay, we have way more details on these things, like such as specific people's names, and of course for the Great Flood story, you get like stuff like Noah or Gilgamesh or Atlantis or something like that. But where like Homer is like spends 10 pages literally being like, every single town in Greece sent X number of ships, is his level of detail.
He was the Tom Clancy of his day.
Yeah, here's the number of and I would just say, like, how many bits of information got transferred from A to B to or are like lost per decade or per century or something like that of oral tradition. I think that by century would be a good measure, because it's like, we know they always throw in the stat that like that life expectancy was 30. Well, okay, toddlers don't learn stories and they die young, for the most part. We're not counting them. People who actually live to adulthood would live to 60, 70 years, even in ancient times. And so like they could pass down a story that was relatively cohesive from 70 years ago, right? So, and we had a continuous presence of them. I think it actually, in oral traditions, it actually takes thousands of years to degrade information by really significant amounts. Like Homer was when did the Trojan War happen? It was like 1300 BC,
Mhm.
and Homer like got into writing around 800 BC. So it was,
500
what is
years.
that? Yeah, 500 years. And it's like
Yeah.
we have a lot of details that would just be like weird that it wasn't just like a condensed story. It's an epic. It's a long ass story,
Mhm.
and they've got so many details from it. So,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, maybe that'll be a schizo post to make.
The Schizo Post, I
Is-
was gonna say that would this would all be a really great episode to just talk about like ancient cultures, like theories about like lost ancient cultures. I remember a big thing they used to talk about were like those pyramids that were like under submerged off the coast of like Japan, like the Yamato, wherever it is, and everyone's just like, yeah, this is clearly significant, but we don't know a whole lot about it. But like we could do a whole episode on that. Hell, I think Frank would love to join us for that shit too. Maybe. Well, is there anything else we want to cover? No? Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind you guys that next week I am going to be visiting the fam in New York. So we're going to have a bye week, but we will be back the following week, which I believe will be September 9th. So that will be our September 9/11 episode on the 9th. Who knows what we'll talk about? I'm sure nothing having to do with 9/11 or Charlie Kirk. I'm sure none of those topics will come up. But ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us this lovely August 26th evening. We hope you all stay safe and stay healthy. We hope you are not caught in any sort of natural disasters, which we hope do not happen because we are the anti-happening show, so no more of this shit. And as always, taxation is theft.